Hey, 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 T-Sippers. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, good looking. So listen. Oh, I got in this title. Let me see. Hey, hey, hey. That quick. Battleship Jeffre. Oh, the controversy. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And look like impeachment. They drawn up impeachment on Pam Bondi. Hold on. Oh, yeah, it's some good old pictures. Good old pictures. Let me see if this, what this, yeah, it ain't gone. Was that somebody? That is somebody back there in the middle, huh? Hey, Willie Spencer. It is somebody back there in the middle. Oh, yeah. How about that one? Should the background be this one or this one? Which background should it be? This one or this one? Huh? Hey, do tell, do tell. Which background should I use? This one that's showing Trump grinning with them little girls back there? Or this one with Epstein? With some, you can look at their hand and tell they're young. I'm doing okay. I just got through putting some food in my mouth. Let me drink something. I slept good last night. I handed out some eye masks to some people, little Christmas tokens. But thanks for asking, Denise. Hold on. I wish I had some dairy-free ice cream. But anyway, they just drew up some impeachment on Bondi. Let's listen. Let's listen to the attorney. Y'all ready?
So, friends, we just learned that articles of impeachment are being drafted by a bipartisan team of congressmen to impeach Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche
Get 'em out.
for their clear, obvious, and inarguable violation of federal law, the Epstein Transparency Act, a violation that is serving as a cover-up. Let's talk about that, because justice matters.
It does matter. Justice matters. They cannot just do what they want to do.
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here.
Hey, Glenn.
So friends, Donald Trump's Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is violating federal law every minute of every day that she refuses to disclose the Epstein files, as is required by legislation that was signed into law by Donald Trump himself. Now, I want to start with the new reporting, and I'm going to read a good bit of it because I want you to hear just how
Get the lights
angry,
up, coming
how
in.
furious members of Congress, both Republicans and Democrats, are about Bondi's clear violation of law and how it is serving as a cover-up. This from The Guardian. Headline, outrage and legal threats. Trump Justice Department slammed after limited Epstein files released. Lawmakers voiced frustration over heavy redactions and the apparent removal of files from government website. And that article begins, Donald Trump's Justice Department was hit with legal threats and scathing outrage after authorities released a limited, heavily redacted trove of Jeffre Epstein files in an apparent violation of the law mandating the near complete disclosure of these documents by Friday. This quote from Representative Ro Khanna, who was the co-sponsor of the bill, the Epstein Transparency Act, quote, the Justice Department's document dump this afternoon does not comply with Thomas Massie and my Epstein Transparency Act. Ro Khanna, the California Democrat congressman who co-authored the law requiring full disclosure of all Epstein files by 19 December, said in a video statement, quote, it is an incomplete release with too many redactions. Thomas Massie and I are exploring all options. He also said, among them, possible impeachment of Justice Department officials, finding them in contempt of Congress. Khanna also floated the possibility of referring for prosecution those who are obstructing justice. And this quote from Republican Representative Thomas Massie, quote, unfortunately, today's document release by AG Bondi and Deputy AG Todd Blanche grossly fails to comply with both the spirit and the letter of the law that Donald Trump signed just 30 days ago. Representative Ro Khanna is correct. Massie, a Kentucky member of Congress and co-author of this legislation, said on X, quote, a future Justice Department could convict the current AG and others because the Epstein Files Transparency Act is not like a congressional subpoena, which expires at the end of each Congress, Massie said at another point. Frustrations mounted on Saturday as the Justice Department released some new files, including transcripts, while also removing more than a dozen others from its website related to Epstein with no explanation. At least 16 files disappeared from the department's public webpage, according to an Associated Press tally. The documents included images of paintings depicting nude women, and one showing a series of photographs along a credenza in the drawers. In that image, inside a drawer, among other photos, is a photograph of Trump alongside Epstein,
oh, there's
Melania
more pictures
Trump,
coming
and
out
Epstein's
than that, baby.
longtime associate, Ghislaine Maxwell. Trump's Justice Department was required to release all investigative files involving the late financier by 19 December under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. The legislation does allow for records to be withheld or redacted if their disclosure would imperil present criminal investigations, threaten national security, or identify Epstein's victims, but otherwise it mandates disclosure of everything else. New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was among the bipartisan chorus of lawmakers slamming Trump's Justice Department, including the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi and the FBI Director Kash Patel for the document's lackluster rollout. Quote, now the cover-up is out in the open. This is far from over. Everyone involved will have to answer for this, Ocasio-Cortez, a New York Democrat, said on X on Friday. Quote, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, whole administration, protecting a bunch of rapists and pedophiles because they have money, power, and connections. Bondi should resign tonight. Now, of course, AG Bondi won't resign tonight, but here's an important update from a brand new interview that my friend and partner in the Legal Breakdown, Brian Tyler Cohen, just conducted with Representative Ro Khanna. Quote, Representative Massey and I are drafting articles of impeachment as we speak about Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche. Okay, friends, a few takeaways. First of all, there is no argument, no plausible argument, no implausible argument, no argument whatsoever that Pam Bondi has complied with the federal law to disclose all of the Epstein files, with a few very narrow, limited exceptions like to protect the identity of victims. Some of the reporting says that given this document dump, it may actually account for less than 1% of all of the Epstein files. And yet, friends, back in
1%,
July,
y'all.
do you remember what Pam Bondi was having Kash Patel's FBI do before there was ever a law requiring the disclosure of all of the Epstein files? Here is what the FBI was busy doing. Headline: FBI personnel were told to flag Epstein files mentioning Trump, Senate Democrat.
That's the whole damn file.
Senate Democratic Whip Dick Durbin pressed Justice Department leadership about their handling of the files related to the federal investigation into the late Jeffrey Epstein, including reports that FBI personnel were instructed to flag any records that mentioned President Donald Trump. In a series of oversight letters written to Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Durbin questioned Bondi about contradictions in her public statements on the case, Patel about reports that he was pressured by Bondi to place 1,000 personnel on 24-hour shifts to mine roughly 100,000 Epstein-related records, and Bongino about reported disputes among Trump officials about the lack of transparency in their handling of the high-profile case.
Okay, work with me. All that meal prep for what? Reach your health goals through hers? Hair loss.
Friends, think about that. Before there was ever a law requiring the disclosure of anything, Pam Bondi is pressuring the FBI, directing the FBI to put 1,000 agents on the task of scouring the Epstein files for references to Donald Trump, obviously in an attempt to protect Trump.
Yep.
And now, when there is a law requiring disclosure of all of the Epstein files, it seems like Bondi's attitude is, screw that. I'm not putting sufficient resources into that endeavor. I'm not going to comply with the federal law. You know, friends, that is abject lawlessness by Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche. And let's face it, they're not going to hold themselves accountable for violating federal law. They're the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General. Do you think they're going to launch, an investigation into their own misconduct? Their own violation of a
Hey,
federal
Money
statute?
Truckin', where you
Of course
been?
not.
Hey, Sheila.
But when the rule of law comes back into the light of day, and it will, when this dark chapter in our nation's history is over, this Donald Trump lawlessness and unconstitutionality, they will need to be held accountable for their violations of federal law. Because justice matters to
the
us.
judge.
It matters.
Gotcha.
Friends, as always, please stay safe.
Okay, let's move on. I was doing that old, when it's all over. I'm gonna tell the story how they got over. Oh, look at that background. Should I leave this background up or change it? Change it. Where the other pedo. Yeah, up there with them baby girls. Yeah, both of them sitting there. Absolutely. And it's one of them. Somebody back there. So back there. Look at them. Pedos. AunTeaFee said, hey. Oh, not that one. That's way too close. Let's get to this next one, baby, car. It is extremely hot in here. Because it's a couple of, or as y'all see, there's some new photos out there. Freaks come out at night. Freaks come out at night. Freaks come out. The Trumps come out. Swim trunks. And Trump. Yeah, out there playing with them babies. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. They started digging further off into them files and started seeing them pictures and started having a hissy fit. Started crying and slanging up. What is this? What is this? Oh, yeah. And they started seeing babies and stuff. Oh, yes, indeed, haunted. But it's some new pictures. Oh, and guess who calling they bluff? Guess who? Jody. Thank you, Jody. Welcome to the T-Sippers officially. She got a star by her name. She got a star by her name. Thank you, Jody. Jody McCoy has got a membership. Who's next? Who is next with a membership?
Implicates Clinton.
Picklegate. Did he call him Picklegate? Y'all, did he just say Picklegate Clinton? Hold up. Did he say that? Or was I just hearing something? Hold on.
Where he goes, the evidence we've gathered doesn't implicate Trump. It implicates Clinton. You see what they do here? This is Russia, Soviet-style propaganda tactics. Here, play this clip.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Let me go. I thought I heard Picklegate. I was finna freak out. But listen. Bill, Pickle Bubba, Big Bubba. He calling Trump's bluff. Huh? Wonderful. Let's see all these pictures. Absolutely, old cats. Listen. Bill Clinton say, oh, you want to play with me? That's what we doing? Is that what we doing? Yeah, well, I want all the documents. He calling Trump's bluff. You want to play with me, little Donnie? Yeah. You want to play with me? I was trying to hold our little secret, but since you want to play, it's finna get good. That's, listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and, just ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. Bill Bubba Clinton has entered the room. Let's go.
Former President Bill Clinton is turning the tables on Donald Trump
Flipped
with
it over.
regards to the release of the Epstein files.
Flip that
Donald
motherfucker
Trump
over.
and
Oh, shit. He just flipped over the dominoes table. Get your ass up. He first start talking that thick. This ain't marbles. Slippers don't count. Bend over and let Big Daddy see. You know, all that crazy shit them old men be saying. Sipping on some beer, popping them dominoes on the table. And when the game done got good and juicy, and he said, domino! And all the table and all the dominoes go to flying. Cause he done hit that, he done slammed that domino to the table. And then say, so I'm the one when I used to play spades. They done stop me from playing spades, y'all. Cause they say I was just too damn good and I talk too much shit. But what I would say is, get your ass up. ass up. You know why the fuck you sit down and play cards with me in the first place? You knew good and goddamn well you wasn't gonna be. Get your ass up. Go on, turn your cards over. Go on, turn your cards over. Yeah, set. You know, that was me. But anyway, Bill Clinton, he done came in flipping over tables like he in the hood somewhere. Let's go.
Former President Bill Clinton is turning the tables on Donald Trump with regards to the release of the Epstein files. While Donald Trump and MAGA are trying to make this all about former President Bill Clinton has officially demanded full transparency from the Trump DOJ on the Epstein files. Clinton's spokesperson says that the Department of Justice's selective release suggests that someone is being protected. Quote, "We need no such protection," he writes. He calls on Donald Trump to direct Attorney General Pam Bondi to immediately release all of the remaining materials referencing Clinton, including grand jury records and photos. Now, you will also recall that in the Epstein
what he say? I'm over here laughing at Monty Trucking. What he say?
Grand jury records and photos. Now, you will also Donald Trump to direct Attorney General Pam Bondi to immediately release all of the remaining materials referencing Clinton, including grand jury records and photos. Now, you will also recall that in the Epstein emails that were released,
he said, "Put it out, bring it out, bring it out to the table."
Democrats were able to get their hands on 18,000 plus emails from the Epstein estate, which the Trump regime was covering up. If you go back to an email from March 6, 2011, this was from Jeffre Epstein to another email address. It says, "You okay? The stories are complete and utter fantasy. I don't know and have never met Al Gore. Clinton was never on the island. The telephone book is not mine. It was stolen by my houseman that is currently in prison for doing so." Also, in the recent interview or interviews that Susie Wiles gave to Vanity Fair, here's what it says. "But neither apparently is Mr. Clinton. Asked about Mr. Trump's claim going back years that Bill Clinton had visited the Epstein Island, Miss Wiles said, quote, 'There is no evidence.' Asked if there was anything incriminating about Mr. Clinton in the files, as Mr. Trump has suggested, she said, 'The president was wrong about that.'" Wrong about that? You mean defamatory about that? Goes on to say that it was Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's idea to go and interview Mr. Epstein's convicted child sex trafficking associate Ghislaine Maxwell in prison, and that the president did not know that she would be transferred to a minimum security prison camp. The president was ticked, she said. The president was mighty unhappy. "I don't know why they moved her. Neither does the president." Sure, Susie Wiles, sure. Let's just take a look at the official statement from former President Bill Clinton through a spokesperson. Here's what it says. "The Epstein Files Transparency Act imposes a clear legal duty on the U.S. Department of Justice to produce the full and complete record the public demands and deserves. However, what the Department of Justice has released so far, and the manner in which it did so, makes one thing clear. Someone or something is being protected. We do not know whom, what, or why, but we do know this. We need no such protection." In other words, Clinton saying Clinton does not need such protection. And just pause here for a second. As we've said on the Midas Touch Network, we're not out here defending former President Bill Clinton.
Absolutely.
If he's on the list or if he's in the files, they should all be released, period, full stop. And it's good to hear that former President Bill Clinton is saying so himself. Accordingly, Clinton goes on to say, "We call on Trump to direct Attorney General Bondi to immediately release any remaining materials referring to, mentioning, or containing a photograph of Bill Clinton. This includes, without limitation, any records that may exist and are subject to disclosure under the Act." And it goes on to talk about the Epstein Transparency Act, including grand jury transcripts, interview notes, photographs, and findings by the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, as referenced under oath to Congress by President Trump's first-term Attorney General. Refusal to do so will confirm the widespread suspicion that the Department of Justice's action to date are not about transparency, but about insinuation, using selective releases to imply wrongdoing about individuals who have already been repeatedly cleared by the very same Department of Justice over many years under presidents and attorney generals of both parties. Now, you will recall that the Trump regime, in their document production from Friday, where they violated the Epstein transparency law and produced like only 2 to 5% of the files that the DOJ has relating to Epstein. Mostly all of it was redacted. You know that by now. They basically produced redacted documents, except when it came to former President Clinton, where out of context they showed photos without explaining what it is. Like there was a photo of former President Clinton in a pool. It appears to be Ghislaine in the pool.
At a hotel, y'all.
Face is redacted. So the Trump regime was trying to insinuate, oh, Clinton must be with a victim here. But this pool pic was not at Epstein Island. It's at the Empire Hotel pool in Brunei. The redacted face there is likely Sarah Kellen, this one account says, one of Epstein's top lieutenants who received immunity in the deal that Alex Acosta brokered. And Alex Acosta went on to become Donald Trump's labor secretary during his first term, where everyone went free and avoided prosecution right before Trump gave Acosta a cabinet position. Now, in addition, the Trump regime DOJ released photos of Bill Clinton, Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, and children, and they were Diana Ross's children. And the redacted faces insinuated that somehow Clinton and Jackson and Diana Ross must have been involved with these children.
Ain't that horrible?
And then the children said, this is us. And these were public photos from like 1993. Don't you dare insinuate that these children were the children involved in Epstein's sex trafficking ring. So this is what the Trump regime was trying to do here. By the way, the Trump regime also insinuated that Reid Hoffman, entrepreneur, billionaire, was somehow in Epstein Island or something like that. Reid Hoffman previously wrote on November 14, 2025, Trump should release all of the Epstein files, every person and every document in the files. I want this complete release because it will bring justice for the victims. I want this complete release because it will show that the calls for baseless investigations of me are nothing more than a political persecution and slander. I was never a client of Epstein's and never had any engagement with him other than fundraising for MIT. The call for an investigation is an obvious ploy to avoid releasing the files. Simply release all the files and expose the people who had both deep and ongoing relationships with Epstein. I'll do everything in my power going forward to advocate for the release of the files, to get justice for Epstein's victims, and to promote the values of truth our great country was founded on. I refuse to bend the knee to Donald Trump and his slanderous lies. Now, you'll recall the post that Donald Trump had been making. He goes, now that the Democrats are using the Epstein hoax involving Democrats, not Republicans, to try to deflect from their disastrous shutdown and all of their other failures, I will be asking AG Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with our great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, JP Morgan, Chase, and many other people and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. This is another Russia scam, he goes on to say.
Just be
lying. And that's when Attorney General Pam Bondi responded to the social media post like it was an order and said, thank you, Mr. President. SDNY, United States Attorney Jay Clayton is one of the most capable and trusted prosecutors in the country, and I've asked him to take the lead. As with all matters, the department will pursue this with urgency and integrity. Well, it's already not with integrity when you're taking orders via social media posts when the DOJ is supposed to be independent, and now you're using the pretext of a criminal investigation into Trump's political enemies as a way not to produce the records that, by the way, Clinton and Reid Hoffman are saying you should be producing. And this is their whole scheme. It's pretty obvious, right? I mean, you had James Comer earlier in the day saying that, actually, the person, this was actually a little bit ago, and I'll show you the one he did today. First, I'll show you this one, where he goes, the evidence we've gathered doesn't implicate Trump, it implicates Clinton. You see what they do here? This is Russia, Soviet-style propaganda tactics. Here, play this clip.
Hey, howdy ho, neighbor! Request to locate, huh?
Can I get y'all to hit the like button for me, please?
I'll be done before you can spell.
Let's be clear. Democrats don't care about transparency or accountability in this matter.
Man, get that snuff
the
out your
evidence
mouth.
we gathered does not implicate President Trump in any way. Public reporting, survivor testimony, and official documents show that Bill Clinton had far closer ties to Epstein. We're working to bring former President Clinton in for a deposition, but the Democrats aren't helping one bit. You would think, since we've already brought two former Trump cabinet secretaries in, they would be willing to bring in a Democrat who's had,
I know she knew him a long time ago.
A far closer relationship
Y'all done had a
with,
whole conversation.
especially Maxwell and Epstein. So why is that? That's a question every reporter should be asking Ranking Member Garcia and every Democrat on the committee. Why aren't you helping to bring Bill Clinton in for an interview and deposition, just like we brought in Barr and Acosta?
And here's what Donald Trump said when he was asked in late November, do you want to see the Epstein bill pass? And he goes, we have nothing to do with Epstein. It's Clinton that does. Here, play this clip.
Lady
On
Love.
Truth Social last night, you urged House Republicans to vote in favor of this Epstein release bill they're going to vote on tomorrow. I just want to be super clear on your position. Do you want to see that pass the Senate? Would you sign that bill if it gets to your desk?
I do want to say, here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein, the Democrats did. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his
Baby, these pictures of you with these girls, with him, with both y'all nipples out.
For people to recognize the great job that I've done
You're
on pricing or on affordability, because we brought prices way down, but they're going way lower.
And here you have James Comer from earlier in the day now. He makes this post himself, by the way. He's like, there's no liability of Trump here, really, because he sure seems to be the one covering it up, and the American people know what's up. Play this clip.
From what I've seen thus far, the narrative that they've tried to put out to the public, along with the liberal media, that Donald Trump has a huge amount of liability in this, I just don't think that's there. So the Democrats are going to be outraged. They're going to try to make people not believe what they see with their own eyes.
Here's what Comer then says about Clinton. Play this clip.
At the end of the day, Donald Trump has answered thousands, maybe tens of thousands of questions about Epstein. I don't know anywhere Bill Clinton has ever answered a question. So we're not trying to come in, bring the former president in and embarrass him. This is a substantive investigation. No one's accusing him of wrongdoing, but he needs to answer questions, because Jeffrey Epstein spent a lot of time with Bill Clinton, more time with Bill Clinton than any of the prominent names that we've seen thus far. And yet Bill Clinton hasn't, to this day, answered any questions.
Baby.
By the way, just a reminder over here, this is when former President Clinton was giving the speech where he talked about how even he doesn't understand Trump's fascination with Hannibal Lecter. Here, play this clip right here.
One of the things is, when you send a signal to the other countries, you want them to know whether they agree with you or not, at least that you're on the level. Here's where you are, what you believe. What are they supposed to make to these endless tributes to the late, great Hannibal Lecter? I mean, President Obama once gave me the great honor of saying I was the explainer-in-chief. Folks, I thought about it, and I don't know what to say.
Then you had former President Clinton saying, I'm only 2 months younger than Donald Trump, but I'm not spending 30 minutes swaying back and forth listening to music. Here, play this clip.
I don't have any more elections I'll be involved with, and I'm too old to gild the lily. Heck, I'm only 2 months younger than Donald Trump.
But he was on your pickle, Bill. Bubba.
Good news for you is I will not spend 30 minutes swaying back and forth to you.
And don't you grab that mic.
I played enough music. I will not clap off beat. Nor will I pretend to be a conductor. Because we got a race to win. And we have to win it. I've been doing this a long, long time, and I can honestly say
Putin gonna do more. Putin got the pickle.
Running for anything.
Let's be clear. Putin got the picture. He got the picture of Trump on Bubba's pickle. Now he sent out. Putin got them videos. Now hold on, you finna make me go up now. Where Trump was on his knees. Now I could have sworn I heard something earlier. Or Bill Clinton said, I'm not gonna bow down. When I heard that, I bust out laughing because we all know, and I'm trying to get back up to it, that Trump got down on his bended knee. I care where that's at. He got down on his bended knee. Tried to break open his belt buckle to get to the pickle. He said, bring that pickle here. Not here. Here. Oh, there it go. 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 So, now I changed it and put it into a AI so they wouldn't get me. But the original picture, huh? Oh yeah. Oh, Shay, you wasn't here. Oh, girl, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I got it. Now the pickle that's in the email, the picture. I said pickle. Oh yeah, I done preached on that pickle, boy. Ooh, you missed the sermon. I woke Trump out blowing on Bubba's trumpet, baby. Oh, yeah. So, now the email said he was blowing it. Putin got the picture of him blowing the horn. So, somebody dropped it, the pre-picture, before he was about to get down on it. Here it go, right here. Get down on it. I had to cut it because I wasn't trying to get hit. You know what I'm saying? Baby, I'm telling you, it got the date on it. Yes, indeed, baby. Now, so while Trump over here playing, I could have sworn I heard the getting down, I ain't bending down, you know, the kiss no, y'all know. I said, it's finna get hot in here, so take off all your clothes. And baby, he was trying to take off his pants. I just need for y'all to understand what was going on, and it was a picture. So let me get on back over here. Nipples. You asked for nipples. There go the fellas' nipples. They had some girls. It's some new pictures out there, y'all. Y'all know I had to bring it to you, but I'm still at 24 likes. So y'all not ready to see it yet. Yeah, they got them baby girls, teenage girls. You can look at their hands and tell that they still teenagers, baby. Look at that little girl hand. Yeah, look. You can tell that's a little girl. Yeah. There go Epstein, and that this is the nipple. Yeah, that's Billy. I mean, that's Donnie. That's Donnie Trump. That's Donnie Trump. Y'all get them likes up, and y'all gonna see, baby. Absolutely. There go another picture too. Y'all see them people in the back? Oh yeah. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. And baby, they talking about the dark past of Melania. They better stop playing with me, boo. We get the tea over here, and our tea is good. Okay, so let me back this thing up. I done forgot what old Bubba was saying, but Bubba said you want to play if you want to. I'm going to flip this fucking table over on you, and I'm going to expose it all. Thank you for the gems. I'm going to expose it all. And Putin ain't going to have to put no pictures out, motherfucker. I'm going to put them out. And I'm going to put them out. I'm going to retract myself. Just leave a little bit and leave it for everybody to assume and see you sucking bubbles. Big. Yeah, play with me if you want to. Let's go.
Thought about it, and I don't know what to say.
Then you had former President Clinton saying, I'm only 2 months younger than Donald Trump, but I'm not spending 30 minutes swaying back and forth listening to music. Here, play this clip.
I don't know how many more elections I'll be involved with, and I'm too old to gild the lily.
Mr. Tom.
Heck, I'm only 2 months
Undercover
younger
police.
than Donald Trump.
Mrs. Tom is the police. Please clarify what? Pernell, now she's a regular over here. She family. Don't block him. Don't block Pernell though. But why she wants you to say what you mean. Now we grown over here. We don't above the bite. You don't have you what I don't miss. You know they went undercover on these dudes asking locations underage kids. I don't know what you're talking about. The big beautiful bill. It's a big deal, baby. Let's go. Pernell, don't be calling her undercover.
I played enough music. I will not clap off beat.
Are you telling the undercover police? Okay, he's not talking about you, Miss Tom.
We got a race to win, and we have to win it.
Gotcha.
I've been doing this a long, long time, and I can honestly say that this time I am not here running for anything anymore except for my grandchildren's future.
I always want to show you this as well because Hillary Clinton had it spot on when she said the following about Donald Trump. Play this clip.
You know, every time Donald thinks things are not going in his direction, he claims whatever it is rigged against him. The FBI conducted a year-long investigation into my emails. They concluded there was no case. He said the FBI was rigged. He lost the Iowa caucus. He lost the Wisconsin primary. He said the Republican primary was rigged against him. Then Trump University gets sued for fraud and racketeering. He claims the court system and the federal judge is rigged against him. There was even a time when he didn't get an Emmy for his TV program 3 years in a row, and he started tweeting that the Emmys were rigged against him.
Should have gotten it.
This is a mindset. This is how Donald
He's a narcissist.
thinks. And it's funny, but it's also really troubling.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Help us get to 6
Oh yeah, they ready. Are the Clintons ready to fight? Bill said, "Yeah, bring it." I don't think you want. I don't think you want. I don't think you want to go there. I really don't think. But if you insist. Now, I know you know it's pictures out there with you singing into my mic now. I know you know that. I know you know that there are pictures of you singing in the mic. Mic check. Mic check. Y'all
want to sit down
get the
for this
lights
one.
up.
Melania is at the heart of the latest Epstein cover-up scandal.
What?
This time involving the director of her documentary that Amazon paid $40 million. Jeff Bezos paid $40 million for a documentary about Melania
I will
called
not watch
Melania, directed by Brett Ratner. Guess whose
From
photo
prostitute
showed up among
to
the many
White
photos
House.
in
Just figured that
the
out.
trove of
Thank you for the
Epstein files?
paintbrushes.
Brett Ratner, of all the directors
Come on, don't stop now. Come on,
in
Brett.
Hollywood, did she have to pick the one that 4 different actresses accused in 2017 during
He'll
the
get
height
him
of the
kicked
Me Too
out.
movement
Yep.
that he had sexually assaulted them? Did she have to pick somebody who's in the
See, now
Epstein
he mad. Now he mad that he had to sing in Bill Clinton's mic before he would get his vote, however they decide who gonna run for presidency, especially knowing that he was already a crook. So he had to sing into the mic. You know, he had heard rumors that he had a big package, and that's why he said it's a big deal, a big bill. Yeah, I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. You know, he was a big deal. So he had to sing into Bubba's mic. Now he mad. Him mad cause of all that he started this though, right? He started this. We was content in thinking that it was all said and done. One was dead allegedly, and one went to prison. No, he had to stir it up. Stir up a gift. Yeah, he had to stir it up again to win. Poking at Bubba. Cause he mad that he had to he had to sing into Bubba's mic. Okay. Now all y'all business coming out. Everybody, Melania, how before First Lady, Marla Gibbs done fell out. She in the Epstein files. She done warned some others. Did you know she had warned the little girl mama about you? Did you know that? I mean, all your shit coming out. You finna have another bowel movement on yourself. Watch. You finna be shitting up a storm in that plastic catheter thing. Oh, I bet you that thing is rank. Oh, Lord. Let's go.
And now we know why Donald Trump wants Rush Hour 4 directors in Hollywood. Did she have to pick the one that 4 different actresses accused in 2017 during the height of the Me Too movement that he had sexually assaulted them? Did she have to pick somebody who's in the Epstein files? And now we know why Donald Trump wants Rush Hour 4 made so badly, with Brett Ratner as the director, lobbying his buddies.
Yeah, all of them pedos.
Like Larry Ellison and his kid David Ellison, who are trying to buy CNN and all the assets of Warner away from Netflix. Confused? You won't be when I connect all of these dots. I don't even need red ribbon or red string on a board to do it. I'm Michael Popak.
Come on,
here on
Michael,
Monday
let's
on
connect them
Legal AF.
dots, baby.
Y'all,
my
the
likes are
Epstein story on
still
all
in the
things minus, including
20s.
Legal AF for
I
many,
know
many
it ain't
reasons.
that many people
Main
in here,
reason
but
is
you
we
still got to
support
hit the like button.
survivors. Lisa Phillips is going to be on with me tomorrow. Lisa Phillips is going to be doing a lot of work with
Isn't that just
collaboration
nasty?
with Legal AF moving forward, and with my law firm, the Popak firm. She's one of the leaders of the survivor movement, having been a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein's attacks. So it's personal to us as well. And the latest reporting coming out of USA Today, all they did was find the photo, but in there, Brett Ratner, with a close friend, a fashion photographer, agent type of Donald Trump's, with friends with Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, we'll put up the photo as we're talking about it. Brett Ratner became persona non grata, became, sort of blackballed in Hollywood after a series of women, including Olivia Nunn and Natasha Henstridge, came out against him in 2017, which, of course, our sexual assault felon in chief in Donald Trump was going to lobby Larry Ellison, who owns Oracle,
who's backing his son, Paramount Skydance's bid to purchase Warner's assets away from Netflix, including CNN. See how this is all tied together? And of all the directors and all the documentarians, the one that Melania picks is the one that's in the Epstein files, or the Epstein library, as they so strangely call the data dump related to Jeffrey Epstein on the American people. All right, let's get down to it. I thought it was weird that about a month ago, Donald Trump started lobbying for Rush Hour 4. You know, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, until I realized that the director would likely be Brett Ratner. Brett Ratner, the director of Melania. Melania, the documentary that Amazon overpaid, which some people see as a bribe, to gain influence, pay to play Melania, when the second highest bidder, I think, was Netflix or Disney, which was like 20 million or 12 million. They didn't even go 20 million, we'll go 20 million in a dollar. We'll go 21 million. They went, we'll go 40 million. Sure you will, Jeff Bezos. That's why you were sitting up on the dais during the inauguration. I'm sure you've contributed to the library. You got Donald Trump and all of his tech regulations in your back pocket. That's why you overpaid the wife of the president to gain influence over Donald Trump. Is that not obvious? So you got that purchase, and we covered that at the time, in real time, in real life. That Amazon and Jeff Bezos paid $40 million to Melania, and then there's the
I don't want to hear
selection
about
of the director.
about the what? I want to hear about her being in the Epstein files. I don't want to hear about that.
Now, I got to hear that Brett Ratner is making her documentary, and
I'll come back to
I'm
you.
not pleased about that. I don't think Donald Trump should be focusing all of.
Nope. I got pictures to see. Trump just got the work. Oh, yeah. And oh, boy, brother. Hold on. Epstein
It's
brother.
beginning to look a lot like
Christmas
Epstein will be the end of Trump. But it can't come fast enough. And now Mark Epstein, the brother of disgraced sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, is sending Donald Trump an early Christmas gift, the kind that Trump will not want and that he cannot return. And for those of us that want to know what Donald Trump knew about Epstein's crimes and when he knew it, and if he participated in them, this is an early Christmas surprise to last us the whole year round. Get out those sugar cookies. The Epstein files are coming to town. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. Once again, coming to you from Grandma's house. I wouldn't spend my holidays any other way, so please forgive the dubious lighting. On to our story. Last Friday saw the mandated release of the Epstein files, but as many of us predicted, that release itself has pushed the bounds of legality. Most of the files still haven't been opened, and the new documents released to the public look to have been selectively redacted to conceal any mention of Donald Trump. Democrats are even preparing to sue the administration over this mess. Here's a rundown.
Tonight, the bipartisan duo behind the effort to force the Department of Justice to release the Jeffrey Epstein files, escalating pressure on Attorney General Pam Bondi after her agency failed to release all files related to Epstein ahead of last Friday's deadline set by the law.
The quickest way, and I think most expeditious way to get justice for these victims is to bring inherent contempt against Pam Bondi.
Republican Thomas Massie and Democrat Ro Khanna announcing they will attempt to use the rare oversight tool that in this case would require the support of Republicans.
Bring it on. We are doing everything we're supposed to be doing to comply with this statute.
In an exclusive interview with NBC's Kristen Welker, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche claiming the delay is justified.
The statute also requires us to protect victims.
Get our ass out. Him too.
So the reason why we are still reviewing documents and still continuing
making
our
up
process
excuses for a
simply
PDFer.
to protect victims.
If Congress votes to hold Bondi in inherent contempt, she could be detained until the DOJ
is it gonna be her or is it gonna be the reptilian? See that one, you know. Woo, boy, that time that I almost popped out. Lord, 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 Lord. That blew my mind. Y'all remember that? Oh Lord. I can't process them reptilian things. Baby. But this one that time, and they went through up in here. Yeah. Oh Lord. But I wonder, is it gonna be the real her that have to go to jail, or the alien one? Which one?
Some Democrats saying,
I think that's premature.
Blanche also defending the
Get
nearly
who outta here?
700 pages completely blacked out in the DOJ's initial release of the Epstein files. And the
Denise,
removal
get
of
who
more
out
than
of
a
here?
dozen
What I
photos,
miss?
including at one point this image showing a picture of Epstein appearing with President Donald Trump alongside other framed photos of the convicted sex offender posing with celebrities and politicians. The photo was posted on Friday. Then it was gone without immediate explanation. After backlash, the DOJ explaining it was taken down out of an abundance of caution for further review and has since been reposted.
It has nothing to do with President Trump. There are dozens of photos of
Lying
President Trump
butts. That's
already
okay.
released to the public seeing
Your day
him
is
with
numbered.
Mr. Epstein. So the absurdity of us pulling down a photo, a single photo, because President Trump was in it, is laughable.
And it just got even more scandalous. Stay with me here. Trump's sudden turnabout on the files, signing the Epstein Transparency Act into law after obfuscating on the files for months, raised some alarms. Why the sudden change of heart? Well, the release of the files seems to support earlier rumors that
there may be Democrats, Jeff, but it looked like majority of them are Republicans. What you think? This is like majority, because all we seen a Democrat do is take a blowjob from Trump. And he had a few little girls, but they sent a picture of him in the pool with Elaine. Wasn't even at Epstein Island. They was at the embassy. It was at a hotel. They done pulled out the hotel. And them kids with Michael Jackson, that was his kids, and Diana Ross. So Jeff, Jillian, yeah, it's all the Republicans, MAGA, that be fucking with them kiddos. You understand? Yeah, so get your lie together. But we don't tolerate lying over here. So I just want you to understand, the minute you start lying is the minute we gonna walk your ass up out of here. Yeah, we talking about who is playing with kids. And Marla Maples told one of the little model girls, mothers, do not trust my husband, Donald Trump, around your daughter that was 14 years old. Now, ain't none of them Democrats' wives done came out and said my husband can't be trusted. Now, you sure you at the right place? You sure you at the right place? Because we eat folk like you up and spit you out before we put you out. You sure? But you can't come over here lying. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and put you. Y'all want to eat? Y'all want to eat for a little bit? Yeah. Watch what he say now. They are catching them on Facebook and beating. Oh, yeah. And, yeah, they be catching them on IG. I be seeing them, too. I just ain't been over there for a minute. We don't troll over here, Jeff. Yeah, see, now you lying. We talking about who playing with kids. We talking about PDFers, not who lying. See how you try to move? So you're a narcissist. Yeah, you one of the ones I covered earlier. You try to move the goalposts to make it seem like what you saying is true. Shut up. Get your ass up out of here. Y'all say bye to Jeffre. He's a liar. He's a liar. He lied to fit in. We don't want you over here. Bye, Jeffre. Get your big, goofy, lying ass on up out of here. Get your ass. Bye. Yeah. Yeah.
General Pam Bondi and FBI Director and douche canoe Kash Patel had their deputies
Jeffrey
redacting the files to
Epstein
remove
brother
any
said,
mention of Trump
I don't want to play
earlier this
with you
year,
no more.
which I think will likely have the opposite effect from what the pair intended. This only raises more questions, and redacting the files in this way is likely illegal. And now Mark Epstein has just hurled a wrench into the already rusty machine, and even better, he did so on a Republican propaganda network. Appearing this morning on News Nation via phone, Mark Epstein revealed that the Trump administration is using a designated facility in Virginia to redact the Epstein files as they go public. Have a listen.
What I do want to talk about is I've been recently told the reason they're going to be releasing these things and the reason for the flip is that they're sanitizing these files. There's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out. That's what I was told by a pretty good source.
Wait. Can we hear that again? I want to hear it again.
What I do want to talk about is I've been recently told the reason they're going to be releasing these things and the reason for the flip is that they're sanitizing these files. There's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out.
They
That's what I
scared.
was told by a pretty good source.
Winchester, Virginia, huh? You know why that's suspicious? The FBI has its significant Central Records Complex, or CRC, in Winchester. That is, for the record, a massive high-tech facility using robots to store, manage, and digitize billions of pages of historical and active FBI files. So, in other words, if any mass redactions were taking place, and the released files prove that there are, that would be the facility where they would most likely be processed. It's also significant that the CRC is not open to the public, so it would offer a higher degree of, shall we say, discretion than other FBI offices might. You know, just like Jeffrey Epstein's island used to. This reminds me of the Watergate scandal, when, rather than release the tapes that proved Nixon organized the cover-up and hush money for the burglars, he released redacted transcripts of the tapes. And if you remember that period, you know that the tactic backfired and made the public even more suspicious of the president.
Yeah, Blanche, it backfired today. Blanche said that they unredacted and redacted and unredacted because the pictures had what did it say, victims in it standing up there with Trump. Also, they were victims. Those girls were victims of Trump's. Y'all on a slippery slope. You on your way down. So y'all had to go back in and cover the victims. Okay, so they were victims. My. They were victims. Hold on.
The Department of Justice and Attorney General Pam Bondi are facing growing questions about the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. The Congress members behind the law.
That's not it. Hold on.
The Department of Justice and Attorney General.
Where are them pictures at? Hold on. They better not have taken them down. Hold on, y'all. Oh, there we go. There we go. Y'all get the likes up.
What kind of gift can $29 get you these days? It could send someone to their ancestral village.
Some of them we've already seen. They don't mix them in there. I know you hate the day, baby. I know you hate the day. Ooh, ah, ah, ah. Ooh, ah, 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 ah. Ooh, ah, 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 ah. Ooh, ah, 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 ah. What have we here? Ooh, I know he's sick. Ooh, I know he's sick, baby. Ooh, I know he's sick. I thought you said, weren't. Yeah, I thought you said his only friends was Democrats. Huh? Chubby Wubby? The dump truck. Yes, indeed, Auntie. They just slid that in there, didn't they? Ooh, girl, I know he was not into you like that. You had too many miles on him. Who is he? Well, hold on. It's some more that they done dropped in there. They just dropped him in her. Somebody beat his ass. Beat him on his lip. Beat his ass. Trump was a Democrat and probably around this time. I don't remember when he switched over. Ooh, he was wrinkled. I wonder, is that really a recent picture that they done threw in there? Oh, different trunks. Different trunks. Different girls. Different girls. Oh, I cannot stand when two men's knees touch together. Did you see Epstein hand on Trump's? Nah, I didn't pay the hand. But I know they elbow to elbow and knee to knee. Why you probably said they all were Democrats? Because he was one. Who said they were all Democrats? Oh, I know he hate this picture came out. And I know he know AunTeaFee. He know I love it. Huh? I love it. I am just the person who needed to see this, baby. Yes, indeed, Auntie. Yes, indeed. Y'all were booty buddies. Y'all swapped out. I wonder, is this Melania? Which one of them may be Melania? Because these, they look a little more mature to me, kind of. Maybe not. They may be young girls. He kept them in the gym. Y'all saw all that exercise equipment last night. Ooh, look at him. I thought he said, Trump said his friends were Democrats only. Yeah, that's what Trump lied and said, knowing good and damn well he was in business with him. Absolutely. And you said his hand was, they was holding hands? Oh, did it bypass these? Yeah, I promise every time I start playing these pictures, I get a suspicious call. Did we bypass this? Oh, they must have already been playing when we pulled up in here. Oh, did we? Yeah. We saw some of these, but they done dropped some of these pictures in here with what was already there. Yeah. No. Oh, right here. His hand was on top. Oh, they was doing the hand thing. Oh, they sure were, wasn't they? They was playing handsies. Oh, wow. They were his hand was on it. Oh. Mr. Lover, 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 lovers. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Me and you, Trump, go a long way back. Yeah, I didn't know a lot. Do I need to find that video for y'all? Oh yeah, they yeah. We go a long way back. Me, you, Trump. Even Bill Clinton looked young. Well, he was all smiles, wasn't he? Fergie Freako. 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 Yeah, why they just gonna drop them pictures in there? Now, who is he? Trump ass in trouble. This freak right here. Push back, teeth back. Where is that thing at? Hold on. But it was another. And this was not at Epstein's spot. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. What is this? What is that? Where my doctors and nurses at? What is this? Let me look it up. What is this? Nas. So. What's the string?
Phenazopyridine. Phenazopyridine.
Oh, for urinary tract infections. So they over there giving them girls infections and shit. They over there making them girls sick. Oh, wow. Nasty dangling. Wow. 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 Okay, let me get on up out of here, y'all. Let me go down here and see if they done added any more pictures. Who is this? That's their passport. Because I think they just repeating the same stuff. Yeah, because they go them pills. Did we see massages for dummies? Urinary pain relief, yeah. Yeah, we done seen these. What is this though? Hold on. Looked like it was something in that water. I hadn't seen before. What's in the water? What's in the water? Oh, was that Epstein laying down? Yeah, they go them pills again. Yeah, they just repeating the same stuff over and over. Yeah, for the ones of y'all who wasn't here, what you say? What's the street? What's the street? What? Hold on. Just for the ones who brought up Diddy. Yeah, they all partners. He brought him in on the pyramid. Y'all don't forgot. Y'all don't forgot.
You know, Puff Daddy, I'm an entertainer. I entertain people no matter what time of day, you know, whether you like it or not. I'll go all day, all night.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
You know, just tremendous.
Oh, Lord, I wasn't meaning to do that.
Excuse me? What are you doing?
I did it by accident. Hold on.
Why are you taking pictures?
I would have wiped.
Oh, Lord.
You know, Puff Daddy, I'm an entertainer. I entertain people no matter what time of day, you know, whether you like it or not.
Of course, they know each other.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
You know, just tremendous. You really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes a toughness.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. Because, and by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful. We all human
It
beings.
said at a certain point. So Diddy was Diddy. Then, you know, he was out. So what you mean at a certain point? So you was introducing him into your world. And you said that you think at a certain point, everybody will. You understand? This was a long time ago. You can look at him and tell.
We all human beings, and a few people were saying I was just...
At a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah, he was trying to get in.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. Because, and by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful. We all human
beings. This before he got his teeth fixed and everything.
Saying I was just, you know, I was this violent character. You know, just because I was breaking people.
Yeah.
With jaws and arms, and look at me. I'm like, you know, I'm just a passionate young
Man, you wasn't drink.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
You know, just tremendous. You really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes the toughness.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. Because, and by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful. We all human beings, and a few people were saying I was this, you know, I was this violent character. You know, just because I was breaking people's jaws and arms, and look at me. I'm like, you know, I'm just a passionate young man, and I made a mistake.
Well, everybody's going to get in trouble. It's a question of how do you get out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it by working smart. More importantly than anything else is by using my own brain. You know, I've done things, but not in any
He
trouble.
laughed
And
at
I'm
him.
doing well, and I'm making money.
Diddy
Well,
laughed
you
at
made the
him.
same mistakes that I am. You may just be able to hide your...
He said you make the same
And
mistake.
I did it by working smart. More important. Well, everybody's going to get in trouble. It's a question of how do you get out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it by working smart. More importantly than anything else is by using my own brain. You know, I've done things, but I'm not in any trouble, and I'm doing well, and I'm making money.
Well, you're making the same mistakes that I am. You may just be able to hide yours a little bit better.
Perhaps
They
not.
making the same mistakes.
See what?
Look at him. He looking at him like this motherfucker. This motherfucker. Yeah, or Pernell, they know each other very well. Yeah, they're in the same business. They in the same business. Yeah. Yeah, Trump talking about he used his own brain. Diddy laughed at him like, "Man, this nigga." And then he kept lying on himself. That's what narcissists do. And then Diddy had to turn and say, "This, I can't keep."
I did it by working smart.
Yeah,
More importantly than anything else is by using my own brain. You know, I've done things, but I'm not in any trouble, and I'm doing well, and I'm making money.
Well, you're making the same mistakes that I am. You may just be able to hide yours a little bit better.
Because you got the men behind you.
Perhaps not. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. See, one of the problems with politics and politicians is that you really can't have done very much wrong, and that means you can't have done very much.
Yeah.
Which is why I have no intention of running for president, and I wouldn't have an intention of running for president, and that's a shame, because that's not the way life should work, I feel.
Well, that's what people can't understand.
Yeah.
You know, we can't be judged by man. God runs this world, you know.
Right. Well, he's done a fantastic job, at least as far as my stuff is concerned. I've done great for the casino business. All 3 of my casinos were rated 4 stars by the.
He done got caught now.
The only casinos in the United
they
States
both in
that are
trouble.
rated. I built the Taj Mahal, which everyone said that's going to be his downfall. The Taj Mahal, it's over $1 billion building.
Not no more.
And it's,
Taj Mahal.
I think I'm an enormously successful businessman too. Maybe the greatest of all time. You know, and I'm gonna make something good out of it.
Exactly right.
People gonna be mesmerized.
Hold on. Taj Mahal. Is it still? Hold on. Man, I hope. Hold on. Okay, so why does not come in? Let me see if I can get this new device to work. Oh, it may not work. Hold on. Oh, it's not gonna work. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying. Okay, so let me take this. Hold on. Get the lights up. It may not work. I may have to do something else. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see what. Dang it. Hold on, y'all. My light's not up. I may need to leave and come back in. Yeah, playing with me.
Reporting live from Hyper's Club in Atlanta for Hype News, I'm John Apple. Diddy's chances of getting out of prison with the help of a Donald Trump pardon appears to have quickly faded, as it now can be assumed that Trump forgives but never forgets. For the past several weeks, there have been rumblings if President Trump...
I'm trying to see what I can do. Hold on.
There is a Trump DOJ cover-up. It is illegal. It violates the federal law. The president himself was forced to sign. That is the big thrust of this story. It took up, well, first half of our newscast tonight, and we discussed it with lawyers and one member of the House committee in charge. There is also new information, and both things can be true. And so we have dedicated some time tonight because the new information substantively matters, even though, I'd be the first to tell you, it may not have as wide a political impact. But Trump and his DOJ are facing the pressure from survivors over the cover-up I've told you about. Trump isn't really seen in the first tranche of documents we got, from the first document up. Instead, the DOJ famously put out these other photos. Celebrities, Mick Jagger, Kevin Spacey. Those photos, while salacious, don't tell a legal story about their culpability. We did see Trump in some places. His name appears on a check in a photo. We don't know who wrote the name. We don't know the whole story behind the photo, the redaction done by the source. There's also a 2020 lawsuit that alleges Trump took a 14-year-old girl to Mar-a-Lago.
Yep.
Epstein took her there where she was introduced to Trump, and that, quote, Trump smiled and nodded in agreement as they talked about her as some kind of prospect. But that's a lawsuit that's long been on the books. Trump's denied any wrongdoing. The new files are absent of much new material on him. I want to bring in Emily Bazelon from the New York Times Magazine and go right to a key complaint, Emily. This is from 1996 in the newly released files. We'll put this up here. And I'm just going to give you some material on it. Can bear with me. The control room's going to give me, here we go. Complainant took pictures of her sisters. 1996 complaint, and I'm just going to read. Child pornography from Maria Farmer was the complainant. dated September 96. Now I'll read you what's up here. Took pictures of her sisters, 12 and 16. It was for what she viewed as personal artwork, what you might call family business. She, in the complaint, says Epstein stole the photos and then was selling them. So that's the stealing of what he was trying to turn into child pornography and then the potential trafficking in it. Annie Farmer is one of the sisters in the photos, and I want to play her. Take a listen.
To see it in writing and to know that they had this document this entire time, and how many people were harmed after that date, it just, you know, we've been saying it over and over, but to see it in black and white that way has been very emotional.
Emily, this is all new, and we wanted to get your view on this specific evidence. One thing it shows is that she was telling the truth. This is what they call contemporaneous corroboration, that she said, hey, I went to the authorities, and she didn't feel anything was really meaningfully done. It took until Friday for us to see the documentation. Now we know that all the way back to 96, there's corroboration. And the authorities did get this complaint. It's a very serious one, child pornography, and apparently Epstein got out from under that all the way back then.
Yeah, this is important. I'm glad we're talking about it. Marie and Annie Farmer have been saying all these years that they filed this complaint. And the significance, of course, is that the authorities were on notice that Epstein had this interest in pictures of nude girls that, you know, were created for one purpose, and then it seems like he was using for another purpose, which was child pornography. And the fact that Maria and Annie Farmer complained about this so long ago, told the police, lodged the complaint, and then nothing was done. And all these years they have been asserting that they did this, but they couldn't prove it. They couldn't show that complaint really existed. And so we had to take their word for it. Well, now, as you said, it's clear that they were telling the truth, and that becomes part of this story of how long Epstein was able to get away with these crimes. It goes back much longer than we previously could verify.
And doesn't it make the feds look worse because they know things other people don't know? When they got involved in the 2006 Florida case, they're pursuing that seriously. The Palm Beach police chief was seen as aggressive, and he clashed with the feds. And the feds basically said this is being overdone. That was their claim, and they were lowering the temperature. Does it make them look worse that now we know in their files this whole time, back a decade earlier, they'd already gotten an alert about this guy being involved in some of the most heinous, serious federal crimes that exist, which is sexual trafficking of child pornography as content, which abuses children, or the actual trafficking of human children.
Yes, it absolutely makes the feds look worse. And that story has always been so hard to understand because, you know, often it is the feds who come in and make crimes more serious, right? If they're involved, that means federal charges, that ups the ante, that ups the sentencing.
I'll agree with you and let you finish. That's why, again, for people who aren't lawyers, when they say, hey, don't make a federal case out of it, that means if something is minor, don't make a federal bigger case out of it. And you're reminding everyone that's the norm. This was totally aberrant.
Exactly. And now we know that they were looking the other way about even more evidence of wrongdoing, that they should have been taken seriously. And the reason is why. You know, what was happening in that office that pulled them off the track? Is it that this is an era when often the complaints of young women and girls were not taken seriously enough? Not that we're necessarily out of that time, but I think it was even more true in the 90s. Or was something worse going on, something that suggests that there was deal making, some kind of fix that was in. You know, we do know obviously that the story, this part of the story ends with this sweetheart deal for Jeffre Epstein, which is itself really mind-boggling.
Right. I want to show also other material we got Friday. This is FBI notes from 2019, and they show the strength of the evidence against Epstein. There's a document that has handwritten notes. That's how the FBI often will do initial intake. And you see the reference to Friends of Friends, a Brazilian group, that they were, quote, running out of girls. That's describing what the sex trafficker's viewpoint was. And a reference says Epstein didn't want a Spanish
or a girl of a certain complexion, quote unquote. Another part says they witnessed asking for an ID, and they were IDing in the reverse criminal direction. They wanted to make sure under 18 because they weren't believing them, and they, quote, messed up by bringing more older girls. These are the type of
They
investigative
messed.
materials,
Oh, hold up,
Emily,
hold
that
up, hold up, hold up. Are y'all listening with y'all good ear? Somebody messed up because they. Okay, so at the witness asking him for 10 naked. Make sure under. Make sure under 18. Did y'all hear that? Because somebody messed up by bringing more older girls. Oh, wow. Let me back this up because I was looking for something. Hold on. Let's go. Listen.
The other way about even more evidence of wrongdoing that they should have been taken seriously. And the reason is why, what was happening in that office that pulled them off the track? Is it that this is an era when often the complaints of young women and girls were not taken seriously enough? Not that we're necessarily out of that time, but I think it was even more true in the 90s. Or was something worse going on, something that suggests that there was deal making, some kind of fix that was in. We do know obviously that this part of the story ends with this sweetheart deal for Jeffrey Epstein, which is itself really mind-boggling.
Right. I want to show also other material we got Friday. This is FBI notes from 2019. And they show the strength of the evidence against Epstein. There's a document that has handwritten notes. That's how the FBI often will do initial intake. And you see the reference to Friends of Friends, a Brazilian group, that they were, quote, running out of girls. That's describing what the sex trafficker's viewpoint was. And a reference says Epstein didn't want a Spanish or a girl of a certain complexion, quote unquote. Another part says they witnessed asking for an ID, and they were IDing in the reverse criminal direction. They wanted to make sure under 18 because they weren't believing them, and they, quote, messed up by bringing more older girls. These are the type of investigative materials, Emily, that aren't usually public. This law says because of everything that's happened, they should be more public than usual. What do you see as important there? It suggests the FBI had strong evidence on him.
Well, the idea that people are trying to make sure that girls are young enough, and that young enough here means underage in a way that's illegal, that's also damning. And I think it's important to remember we're looking at these materials years later, after they've been redacted, and that's really important that they not reveal private information about victims. But what we're doing here is trying to assess the way that the various authorities involved handled these crimes, knowing in the end how serious and extensive they were.
Hold on. Hold on. Please let me get to this one before my phone starts tripping. So this one, I don't know why they do this, because they're mixing them all around. Y'all not gonna believe this one was implying. Hold on. Implying. Are they trying to imply like Princess Diana? Like they had something to do with her? He got her pent up in the closet. Let's go. Let's hear this with our good ear, y'all.
massive document release meant to deliver
That
transparency has instead triggered fresh accusations of a cover-up.
That
After
better not
publishing
be
more than
true.
300,000 pages of
Implement.
Epstein-related files, the U.S. Department of Justice quietly removed several photographs from public view, only to reverse course hours later following intense backlash. Many of the files were already heavily redacted. Nearly 700 pages were entirely blacked out. Faces and photographs were obscured, and crucial context was missing, leading critics to question whether the truth was being revealed or selectively concealed. Among the hundreds of images released were photographs taken by Jeffrey Epstein himself, as well as others captured by the FBI during raids on his properties.
Oh, he looked retarded.
The photos offer
but right
a
here,
rare,
y'all, he got
unsettling
that
glimpse
thing going
inside
on in
Epstein's
between his
homes,
eyes.
but provide little explanation of what investigators believed was significant. One of the more disturbing discoveries wasn't a person, but an object. Inside Epstein's residence, the FBI photographed a framed newspaper front page featuring Princess Diana, inexplicably hung at the back of a wardrobe, partially concealed behind hanging clothes. The framed image was the June 1994 front page of The Times, carrying the headline, "Divorce is no bar to throne, says Prince." The article followed then Prince Charles's televised interview confirming that divorcing Diana would not prevent him from becoming king. Dominating that front page was a full-length image of Princess Diana in her iconic revenge dress, the off-the-shoulder black gown she wore to a London gala on the very night the interview aired. The image has since become one of the most famous photographs of Diana ever taken. What has stunned observers is where the frame was found. According to the FBI photo, it was tucked away inside a wardrobe, surrounded by polo shirts, shoes placed below, suggesting it was deliberately kept, not casually stored. There is no indication of any wrongdoing involving Princess Diana. The documents offer no explanation for
But
why
I do
the
know
image
him
was
and
kept,
Trump both
framed,
shot
or
they
hidden,
shot at her.
only that it existed inside Epstein's private living space. Royal watchers and critics alike have described the discovery as deeply unsettling, pointing to what appears to be Epstein's fixation on power, status, and globally revered figures, particularly the British royal family. The framed Diana front page is believed to predate Epstein's later association with Prince Andrew, who would go on to meet Epstein years later through socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime associate and former partner. Survivors and legal experts say the lack of context is the real issue. Without explanations attached to the images, they argue the public is left to speculate while victims continue to wait for full accountability. Critics also question why such emotionally charged material was released without commentary, while other sections of the files remain
Parliament
heavily
gonna
censored.
be looking.
They say transparency cannot be partial, especially in a case with global implications.
And him and Fergie was cool. You know they like keeping trophies. Oh, if what's Charles find out that they had something to do with it? Ooh wee. Yep, they like keeping trophies. And it wasn't in no box, baby. He kept it in the closet. Something that he would be able to go into the closet every day. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Your parents have given you some amazing gifts. Celebrate the ones you inherited with Ancestry DNA. Explore the detailed family roots, cultures, and traits that shaped who you are today for only $29.
Look. Y'all remember when that, what's her name, Virginia Jeffre, said that there was a puppet, Prince Henry. He was it Henry? What was his name? Harry? No. Andrew. And he was somebody, he didn't know her. And she said that there was they had, was this a puppet party? Y'all was some freaky, nasty, crazy. Man, y'all better leave that sacrificing stuff alone. Let's go. A toy. Evidence. Him. Creepy. She said there was a puppet.
Newly released photos from the Department of Justice's expansive Epstein files
And
have
her
drawn
ass talking about they only had sex one time. Yeah. You shut up lying. You're a lying ass. You just a liar.
Newly released photos from the Department of Justice's expansive Epstein files have drawn attention for an unexpected and unsettling detail.
Only the believers.
Among thousands of images made public this week, one photograph appears to show a puppet fashioned in the likeness of then Prince Andrew in the background of a picture taken inside Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan townhouse. The doll, styled after a character from the satirical British television show Spitting Image, was spotted behind Epstein's longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell in one of the snapshots. That detail has renewed focus on allegations involving British royal Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew, and Epstein's network of powerful associates. The significance of the puppet stems from long-standing claims made by Virginia Jeffre, one of Epstein's most prominent accusers. In her posthumously published memoir, Nobody's Girl,
it's always
that
evidence.
When she was 17, she was allegedly forced into sexual encounters as part of Epstein's trafficking network, first with Epstein and his associates, and later introduced to Prince Andrew. In the memoir, released in October this year, Jeffre recounts an incident in which a doll resembling Andrew was allegedly used to grope her while she attempted to respond lightly to the inappropriate gesture.
He played with her with a
Jeffre's
doll?
claims include that she was trafficked and forced to have intercourse with Andrew on multiple occasions as a teen, at locations including Maxwell's London home, Epstein's New York townhouse, and his private Caribbean island. The former royal has consistently denied the abuse allegations, but the claims contributed to him losing royal duties and titles recently, and now he goes by the commoner name Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. And as these files continue to surface, it isn't just allegations being revisited, there are visuals too. The newly released Epstein documents include multiple photographs of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor himself, taken across different settings and time periods. Some of those images also feature his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, appearing alongside Epstein's inner circle, photos that have now re-entered public view as part of the DOJ release. Virginia Jeffre, a vocal advocate for survivors of sexual abuse and trafficking, died by suicide in April this year at the age of 41. Her memoir, which she completed before her death and insisted be published, has sold over 1 million copies worldwide, bringing renewed global scrutiny to the Epstein case and the powerful figures connected to it. The newly released photo of the puppet does not include context about the moment it was taken, or whether the puppet itself was used as described in the past allegations, and many of the Epstein file images are heavily redacted to protect potential victims' identities. Still, the finding highlights how the continuing release of Justice Department records is shedding new light and raising fresh questions about the disturbing world surrounding Jeffrey Epstein and those who moved in his orbit. Virginia Jeffre's story was never just about one survivor. Her allegations opened the door for others to come forward, women who say they were silenced, ignored, or dismissed for years. As the Epstein files continue to resurface, other survivors' reactions are coming into focus, expressing their dissatisfaction with the redacted files.
Just put out the files and stop redacting names that don't need to be redacted. It's just, who are we trying to protect? Are we protecting the survivors, or are we protecting these elite men that need to be put out there? And people need to know these are predators that are in the files. They need to be brought to justice so they can stop doing this in the long run. You know, it's for everyone's safety at the end of the day. I haven't gone through all of it, so I don't want to speak, I don't want to say the wrong things, but I do understand that also a lot of important, you know, people have been redacted from it. And the whole process of being transparent was to only redact the survivors and the victims' names.
Yeah,
so
prayers
here we
for
are,
the survivors.
right where we started with the
And
first
rest in
files.
peace of Virginia.
These names that need to be put out there, people need to know about these people, have been redacted. So it's a little bit confusing. I feel like, again, the DOJ, the justice system, is failing us. In the beginning, they were calling us a hoax, right? They were like saying that we were a hoax. And now they're like, we believe you, we're going to release the files. But yet you still haven't released the files, and it's not even full transparent. So it's very nice to say it, but it's also nice to actually do it.
Maria Farmer was a professional artist. She was about 25 years old. She had graduated from the New York Academy of Art, a figurative arts school in New York, and she was working as an employee for Jeffrey Epstein in New York City. She has consistently and repeatedly said that in 1996, in the summer of 1996, she reported Jeffrey Epstein to the FBI after having reported him to the New York Police Department. She reported Epstein and she reported Ghislaine Maxwell as well for child sex abuse crimes, including child pornography. We've spent many years trying to get her records through Freedom of Information Act requests, which are the classic way to get them. The most recent Freedom of Information Act request I made was I got a response in January 2025, that's earlier this year, and they told me that they wouldn't get back to me before November 2027 to just answer my request. And this has been and when we've seen anything from the government, which is infrequent, it's highly redacted information. And we've never seen anything before corroborating her 1996 report But we just saw it yesterday for the first time in 30 years, which is remarkable, really remarkable. All we know right now from the documents is that there was a clear and corroborated report that Maria Farmer did exactly.
We know, baby girl. We know. We believe you. Hold on. Hey, Naturally Narlins. Thank you. What is this one? I'm trying to see. What is this trying to show us? Okay, never seen before. Never seen before. In-frame display of in the car woven. What's so special about this? He got a baby, y'all. Okay, so y'all, do we want to go ahead and end this and pick back up on yesterday where we was listening to her conversation?
I stay with Ted, the more time I'm with Ted, the more distance I have with him. And then
y'all remember yesterday we listened? Y'all want to do it separately?
When he, whatever happened in 2005 and he became arrested in.
Hello?
So when he's charged and arrested in what we'll call the Florida investigations.
Where the thing at?
That's what you're talking about.
I am.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was not in.
You said let's what?
Well, were you part of that investigation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Did law enforcement ever talk to you as part of that? Did you, like, the feds
Okay,
never
hold
talked to
on.
you? The FBI never talked to you?
No. I never even received a phone call.
Did you, so you didn't receive a subpoena?
No.
Did the state law enforcement ever reach out to you?
No.
Miss Tom with her little bossy, but Miss Tom, you said maybe what? Maybe not. What you mean maybe not? My brain is starting to overload. I'm giving you too much tea. Too much tea. Yes, change. Okay. Okay, I'll be back. Okay.